In this video, I'll be taking these 5 thrift store finds and turning them into one-of-a-kind, beautiful home decor. Let's get started. I picked up this really nice clock at Goodwill for $3. It has a glass face and the outside is metal. So once I determined that it worked, I thought I would give it a little makeover. I took the clock completely apart because I want to do something to the face of the clock. So I removed the back and I used a recycled yogurt container to hold all my screws. This clock was in really good condition and it barely even needed any cleaning. Starting with the frame of the clock, I gave it a couple of coats of Waverly chalk paint in the color sandstone. I wanted to dress up the face of the clock a little bit with a transfer, so I am using Blossom Breeze by Redesign. I'm going to cover the word quartz at the bottom of the clock, and I hope that the words don't show through the transfer, but we'll have to wait and see. First, I'm applying the leaves that I want to be in the background, and then I will transfer the flower over the edges of the leaves. These transfers adhered to the paper of the clock face really easily. I really appreciate you, and I'm happy that you clicked on this video to join me on this makeover journey. I have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers, and I'm slowly inching along. So if you're getting any value out of this video, I would love it if you would consider hitting that subscribe button, commenting, and/or liking this video. It would mean a lot to me, and it would really help my channel grow. To seal in the chalk paint, I'm going to first give it a coat of clear finishing wax. This is from Jolie. Now I'm going to wipe off the excess clear wax with a lint-free cloth. For the second coat, I'm going to go over it with some black wax, and putting the black wax over the clear wax makes the black wax not go on quite so dark. I ended up taking off too much of the black wax, so I'm just going through this little crevice and adding a little more wax here. Now I'm going to reassemble the clock, and then this little project will be done. Here's another look at my thrifted clock before, and here it is after its makeover. I love it. I think it looks great. And you can still see a little bit of the word quartz, but I think you'd have to look pretty close to see it. I picked up these little birds at Goodwill for $2.75, thinking they would be a cute little addition for spring. After cleaning them up, I'm going to give them a couple of coats of Waverly paint in the color Cashew. I wanted to change up the color of flowers on their heads, so this first bird is getting Waverly chalk paint in the color Pool. And this second bird will have flowers in the color Ballet Slipper from Waverly. Now I'm going to dry brush over everything with white chalk paint. You can't really see it very well here, but once I dip my brush in the paint, then I offload most of the paint onto the paper towel before I start dry brushing onto the bird. Here you can see the difference between the two birds after I've completed the dry brushing on one. Now that I've dry brushed both of the birds, I'll move on to sealing them with some wax. First, I'm going to put a coat of Jolie clear finishing wax on both of the birds to seal in the paint. And once again, wiping off the excess with a lint-free cloth. And now I'm going to go back over just some of the detail areas with a artist brush, and I'm using Jolie brown finishing wax. So let's look back at the birds before, and here they are now. A simple little change, but I think it updated their look. This project is so simple, I probably shouldn't even include it in here as a thrift flip, but I wanted to show how easy it is to make over some of the items you can find at the thrift store. This wooden riser was only $2.25, and after I removed the labels, I took it outside to try and sand down some of the stains that are on there and see if I could make those less noticeable. I also removed the goopy little felt feet that were on there because I have new feet I can add to the bottom. You can see the stains are still visible, but they're a little better. And now that I have it sanded, I'll be adding some tung oil. Tung oil is food safe if I ever decided I wanted to use this to serve food on, but for now I'm just going to be using it as a riser. I thought the tung oil would just give it a richer finish. I brushed on one coat of tung oil on the front and the back. I let it sit for about 30 minutes and then I wiped all the excess off with a clean cloth. After about 24 hours, most of the tung oil has been absorbed, and now I am going to attach my little adhesive felt feet. Here is the wooden riser before, and here it is after. Not much of a transformation, just a little enhancement. I picked up these two square frames at the thrift store for $1.50 each. I purchased these because I liked the detail in the frame and the fact that they were a set of two, but I didn't really pay much attention to the images inside. The first thing I did was remove all the labels, and then I disassembled each frame. There was an excessive amount of staples holding these little tiny frames together. After removing the backing paper, there was a lot of glue residue and paper bits left behind, so I used my finger sander to remove the excess and make them smooth. After getting them all cleaned up, I gave them several coats of Waverly chalk paint in the color hazelnut. Once that dried, I went over them with Fusion Liming Wax, which is a white wax. You simply brush on the wax and then wipe off the excess with a lint-free cloth. This will seal the chalk paint, and it will also make the details of the frame show up better. Here I'm using Fusion paint in the color Casement to put a couple of coats on the mat around the outside of the images. I didn't really have a plan for what I wanted to put into the frames, so after looking at these images a little closer, I actually kind of like them. So for now, these are going to stay just the way they are with just a white mat. I've cleaned the glass on both frames, and now I am going to reassemble them. I picked up this frame tacker off of Amazon, and it makes putting the cardboard back in so much easier. You remember all those staples? Well, I didn't need quite as many tacks in order to hold it in this time. Here is the before and after of each of the frames. Not bad for $1.50. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.